think the heart of the Steer report is involving the public, really. It's about recognising that if you're going to speak about behaviour change, you've got to actually engage the people whose behaviours you're trying to change. And that means not only by stealth, by doing it through processes of what they call nudging, or even by thinking, getting them to deliberate together, but actually sharing some of the knowledge that you're relying upon to make your claims, mainly from behavioural science, neuroscience, behavioural economics, various other disciplines, using some of that knowledge, feeding it back to Joe Public, really, and Janet Public and everyone else, and asking them, what do you think of this stuff? Does it have any impact on your life? Does it have any bearing on what you do? And you find actually that, you're very pleasantly surprised. Actually, people find it very relevant, very comprehensible, if it's delivered in the right way. And particularly on habit change, people who are smoking or who want to lose weight, they're very keen to hear that habit's not just a matter of willpower. There's a bit more to it than that, that actually you've got to design your social and personal interactions in such a way that you're encouraging yourself to eat well or avoid smoking or whatever it may be. But what you can do is say, given a certain kind of person, in a certain kind of situation who wants to achieve a certain kind of thing, it's very useful to know this enormous amount of knowledge we have about human behaviour, because that can inform what they're trying to achieve and help them to achieve it. Indeed, the Steer report really is in some ways a shift away from policymakers assuming they know what's best for you, often rightly, often avoiding getting knocked down and simple things like that, but tweaking it slightly so that the knowledge is not just kept behind closed doors and applied in these policies sort of covertly, but is actually given to people so they can shape their lives in the way they want to. With regard to the Social Brain Project, in some ways the project is a search for foundations. It's trying to understand, insofar as human beings are in everything we're trying to do, what are the kind of foundations of their behaviour. But anyone who's done neuroscience for a few years or who's tried to find applications will realise that really you don't get any axioms, you don't get anything that's very firm. What you get is a lot of context-specific behaviour, some of which you can actually prime and change in interesting ways, and some of which is just random. But that notwithstanding, you do get constraints and opportunities. You do learn about things that we do particularly well in certain ways, and other things that are maybe a bit harder for us to do given our evolutionary endowment, given our physiology, given our particular neural wiring. So these are kind of constraints that inform our approach, but they're also ways of opening up opportunities to say that, actually we do certain things rather well. A lot of our automatic behaviour. You watch the World Cup, for instance, and look at those brilliant players and find that actually, by and large, they're not thinking at all. By and large, they're doing it entirely on the basis of their past experience. But periodically, they'll cut out of that system and say, hang on, let's rethink, where's the defence, as Alan Hansen would say, or why is it the goalkeeper that was, international level dropped the ball like that? So there will be more rational, reflective elements as well. But, so Social Brain Project as a whole, it speaks to that level of looking for foundations, not really expecting to find them in any hard and fast sense, but hoping that they inform our work more generally.